The Subnautica 2 situation has now reached full anime arc status. You've got corporate betrayal, giant payout conspiracies, fans turning on devs, devs turning on publishers, and community in complete meltdown. And right at the center, a 250 million bonus. And nobody's quite sure who's lying. I'm a bird, mother. I'm a bird. Before we even get into the topic, for people who are not familiar with the game, Subnautica is a first person underwater survival and exploration game set on an alien ocean planet. After a crash landing, you must scavenge resources, craft tools, build underwater bases, and uncover the planet's secrets, all while surviving hostile sea creatures and environmental hazards. It's known for its immersive atmosphere, mysterious story, and a sense of isolation that gradually gives you the awe and discovery. The upcoming Subnautica 2 is the next main entry in the series. It's being developed in Unreal Engine 5 with feature co-op gameplay, and is currently delayed to 2026 amid major development controversies. Today, we're diving into yet another corporate train wreck. This time involving Subnautica 2, the game that was supposed to drop in early access this year and now isn't showing up until 2026. Because apparently the devs were fired. A 250 million bonus is caught in the middle, and the community has declared war. People are boycotting, devs are accusing publishers, publishers are accusing devs, and players are stuck watching from the sidelines, wondering if they'll ever get to play the game. Let's break it all down because this is genuinely insane. So here's what we know. Subnautica 2 is being published by Krafton, same people behind PUBG. Development is handled by Unknown Worlds, the original Subnautica devs. At least it was until very recently. The top three people at the studio, Charlie Cleveland, Max McGuire, and Ted Gill, were fired. Not resigned, not left for creative reasons, straight up removed. According to Crafton, these guys straight up abandoned ship. Charlie, the founder, apparently said, nah, not working on the game, and decided to go work on a film project. Max declined to return his technical director role. Meanwhile, the game timeline slipped hard. It was supposed to be early 2024, now 2026. Convenient. Now here's where it gets spicy. A 250 million payout was set up for the game's success. 90% of that payout was earmarked for these three executives. You know, the ones who just got fired. And over $200 million, that's now not happening for them. And guess what? The payout depended on the game launching on time. If the game got delayed beyond 2025, no payout. So now you got two sides. One saying the game was ready for early access right now, the other saying it's nowhere near ready until 2026. If you cannot smell corporate politics from here on, you might need a nose check. So here's a real question. Who's full of it? Who is the one lying? Option 1, the devs are lying. They wanted that 250 million and were rushing an unfinished game just to cash in before jumping ship, which genuinely wouldn't be that unheard of. Option 2, Grafton is lying. They fired the devs on purpose, delayed the game on purpose, just to avoid handing over 250 million bonus. Again, which wouldn't be that surprising. Honestly, I lean a bit more towards not trusting Krafton. Their corporate track record doesn't exactly scream trustworthy. But let's be honest, this story has all the ingredients for both sides to be terrible. The only people who are guaranteed to lose in this entirety of a mess are the players, once again. Now let's talk about what's happening in the trenches. Steam forums and Reddit are on fire right now. People are unwishlisting the game, writing boycott posts, calling both Crafton and the original devs liars. One post literally says, "Wishlist removal check. This game is a scam." Another thread asks how many people have ditched their wishlist, saying that OG devs are a joke for abandoning the project. And Reddit's reaction? Classic. Yeah, defend the corporate employees who definitely had your best interests at heart while they were off failing side projects. It's chaos. People are picking sides. Some are saying, support the dev team, still working on the game. Others like, nope, not supporting Crafton, not touching Subnautica 2 ever. But let's be honest, the second it's available on Epic Store for free, everyone's gonna own the game. But that quote unquote dedication gets what? 10% of the payout now? Meanwhile, the 90% originally reserved for the former leadership, that's suddenly up for grabs. Let's be real. There's one new CEO or creative director in place now, and you just know that part of their onboarding deal was, hey, help us delay this thing and we'll cut you in on the sweet 250 million bonus. But let's talk about the actual real damage now. Here's what sucks most. This probably didn't have to happen. There's a version of the story where the OG leadership stuck around, the game launched in 2024 or 2025, and everyone got paid. But someone, somewhere, probably a whole lot of someones, got greedy. Now we've got a studio at half power, a confused dev roadmap, and a fanbase that's turning toxic fast. This isn't just a who gets the money situation anymore. It's a who's going to kill the franchise first race, and the clock is ticking. At the end of the day, this drama is so transparent, it's almost impressive. You've got executive with personal projects and failed games, Moonbreaker, for example, publishers doing Olympic level gymnastics to dodge a payout, and players caught in the blast radius. It doesn't even matter who's right anymore. The game delayed, the situation fractured, the community is mad. What's the reality? And you know what? Expect more leaks. Expect someone made an anonymous dev, maybe an ex employee, to drop receipts. It's inevitable. These things always leak eventually. So here's what I want to know from you. Do you believe Crafton's version of the story? Are the OG devs greedy liars who abandoned the ship? Or are they getting scapegoated to save a company from paying out 9 figures? Or are you like me and think everyone involved is a hot mess, and the fans are once again left holding the bag? Drop your thoughts in the comments, like if you're tired of watching good games get ruined by corporate drama. And I'll see you in the next one. Stay salty. Gremlin side tangent time. Let's take a step back and talk about something bigger than Subnautica 2. This isn't just some isolated drama, it's just yet another example in a long line of games being delayed, reshuffled, and gutted because of corporate power plays and leadership implosions. Think about Bioshock Infinite, delayed over a year after Ken Levin rewrote major chunks and 2K scrapped half of their original team. Anthem? The team didn't even know what the game was until E3, and the leadership left midway. The result? A game literally held together with duct tape. Mass Effect Andromeda? Swap directors, rebuild systems from scratch, and push junior teams into senior roles to hit a deadline that wasn't realistic. We all know how that turned out. Even Halo Infinite, one of Microsoft's flagship titles, was delayed a full year after fans dunked on the visuals. And behind the scenes, there were reports of leadership turnover and mixed creative visions. The final result was fine, more or less, I guess. I'm personally not a fan. But the launch window absolutely killed its momentum. And now Subnautica too. We're watching the same formula play out again. Original devs get booted, corporate overlords drop vague PR statements, community starts picking sides, and the game, once full of hype, now feels radioactive to even talk about. What is crazy though, this used to be actually quite rare in the past, now it's become the default. Publishers are too quick to shuffle leadership if the project revenue doesn't look golden. They bring in quote unquote fixers, restructure teams, cut content, delay launches, but expect the same result. It's like hiring a new director halfway through filming a movie and still expecting an Oscar. And look, I'm not saying the devs are always innocent. Sometimes creatives get too ambitious or lose focus. Just look at Star Citizen, which turned delays into a personality trait. And they're not the only example where the creative team or the developers absolutely drop the ball or absolutely do not even care about the long standing player base. But when every game has a dev shakeup, a delay, and some kind of vision realignment, at some point it's not the studio, it's the system that they're deciding to operate on. This pattern is truly exhausting for players. We're not even mad about the delays anymore. We're kind of getting used to it, which is really sad. What we're mad about is how the delays are often tied to corporate infighting, basically high school stuff, vanity projects, or billion-dollar bonuses that leave the actual devs, the workers, overworked and underpaid. So, yeah, maybe Subnautica 2 gets delayed because of quote unquote vision, or maybe the executive are pulling strings because of the 250 million elephant in the room. But either way, this is just the latest chapter in a broken cycle that's becoming the new normal. And that should worry every single person who plays games. I did not know that this was on top of everything, so I'm adding it to the video after the fact. Former Subnautica 2 leadership suing Crafton after firing. Just hours after Crafton released an email blaming former executive Charlie, Max, and Ted for the game failing to meet its early access deadline, the game's former director has taken to Reddit to announce a lawsuit. So for people who are not aware, and for people who are watching video, so basically, those three would have been rewarded 250 million bonus for finishing the game to a playable stage in a specific deadline. So if they would have finished it at the deadline that Crafton gave them, they would have been paid 250 million. They got fired. The game is delayed. And Crafton announced that the game is not in a playable stage. And now the three executives that got fired, they're coming out and saying that yes, it is in a playable stage. It is an early access playable stage, and they are lying, and this is why they're suing now. Okay, so as I wrote last week, we know in our souls that the game is ready for early access. That's just how we roll. Cleveland wrote, and would like nothing more than for you to play it, but it's not currently under our control. And yes, it actually is not under the control because, again, they were fired. We'll now file the lawsuit against Crafton. The details should eventually become, at least mostly, public. You all deserve the full story. Cleveland said that suing a multi-billion-dollar company was not in his bucket list, but that the situation needed to be made right. He said that Subnautica has been his life's work, and he would never willingly abandon it or the amazing team that has poured their hearts into it. I do think there's definitely some motivation of like actual money, because all of them would have gotten like 70 million for just hitting the bonus. Cleveland then touched on the 250 million that was scheduled to be paid out should specific goals be reached. In its earlier message, Crafton said that 90% of the 250 million was scheduled to be paid to Cleveland, McGuire, and Gill. However, Cleveland says that any idea the three planned on keeping all the money from their earn out is totally untrue. Okay, so there's conflicting information, but again, I would take it with a grain of salt with this part. I'm in this industry because I love it, not for riches, he said. Historically, we've always shared our profits with the team and did the same when we sold the studio. You can be damn sure we'll continue with the earnout bonus as well. They deserve it for all their incredible work trying to get this game into your hands. Insider Gaming has reached out to Crafton for comment on the lawsuit should a response be received. This story will be updated accordingly. Okay, so that is the most recent update. I think there is a monetary incentive to pursue this lawsuit, but of course also that would exonerate and clear their name publicly as well, because after everything how they are looking right now, not a lot of companies would want to work with them in the future, because right now they are looking really badly. What's everyone else's opinion on this?
Yeah, yeah, fly high, check it. Spread my wings high, reach the sky. Feathers in the wind, never asking why. I'm a bird, motherfucker, I'm a bird. Soaring high, yeah, that's the word. Flying free like you never heard.